House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy forcing a delay to vote on President Biden's massive spending bill. McCarthy broke the record last night for the longest speech on the House of Representatives floor, spending more than 8 hours making the final case against the Build Back Better massive spending plan. Watch.
This is the single most reckless and irresponsible spending bill in our nation's history. And, Madam Speaker, you promised the American public this would be paid for, and it's not. I didn't believe you when you said it. How can you look at your constituents in the eye? With one-party rule, in 1 year, you created inflation we haven't seen in 31 years. You made gas price higher than it's been in 7. You're passing a bill that gives amnesty to illegals. You're charging more than $5 trillion in this bill. More than 2,000 pages. Enough.
Kevin McCarthy on fire overnight. The House is expected to reconvene for a vote this morning at some point. It will come a day after the Congressional Budget Committee revealed that the bill would add $367 billion to the federal deficit over the next 10 years. This despite the constant and continuous claim from the Democrats and Joe Biden that this bill will cost nothing and is fully paid for. Joining me right now is Texas Congressman, House Ways and Means Committee ranking member Kevin Brady. Congressman, thanks very much for being here this morning. Can you give us an update? I know you're getting ready to head back to the House floor. Where are we on this?
Yeah, I'm going to the floor in about 10 minutes to help lead the opposition to this. But so Leader McCarthy delayed this vote for two really important reasons. One, to protest a process where you have the largest spending bill in American history that was written in secret, that no one really knows what's in it. And now that the results are in, we know that it adds hundreds of billions of dollars to the national debt, even counting the budget gimmicks. But the true cost to the national debt over the decade is more closer to $3 trillion. So that was the first reason that's important. But secondly, pull the curtain back on what exactly is in it. And as the leader made clear, this bill is not paid for. It violates the president's pledge to not tax middle-class Americans. It is a huge tax giveaway to the wealthy. 2 out of 3 millionaires will receive a tax cut in this bill. And of course, this will drive inflation up even higher and longer on American families. And so I was there for the first 5 hours of the leader's filibuster. I thought the points he were making exactly what the American people need to hear.
So tell me about the tax increases that they want to get through on this plan, because for a long time, for these 10 months of Joe Biden being in the White House, we've heard that they are saying that nobody making $400,000 or less are going to pay higher taxes. You say they've already breached that.
Yeah, that claim is now nonsense now that we've seen the results. So both the Joint Committee on Taxation and the Liberal Tax Policy Center confirmed that about 1 out of every 3 middle-class Americans will see a tax hike starting next year. That percentage will grow over time in a significant way. And again, that's in contrast to 2 out of 3 millionaires getting tax cuts. So yeah, there's no question on small business people, on working families, all will see tax hikes. And then as we learn more, we've discovered things like the toddler tax, where families who use childcare, who make even $1 more than about $65,000 a year, will see a huge increase in childcare costs, more than $1,000 a month. It goes on and on. This is not only the largest spending bill, but the largest tax hikes that we've seen in our lifetimes.
So, Congressman, walk us through some of the things in this bill that strike you most. I mean, obviously, that child tax is one very important item to mention, because that's going to hit families across the country. But there are also things like giving money to illegal migrants, amnesty. There is that bank surveillance that we've been talking about so much. Joe Biden wants to hire 87,000 new tax auditors so that they can surveil our bank accounts. Tell us more about the things that matter to the American people that we need to be aware of, because people don't understand what's in this bill.
No, they really don't. And I think the green pork, the green welfare giveaways, $500 billion of that, much of that goes to the wealthy in America's largest corporations. And the thought that, you're working hard as a single mom and you're sending $12,500 of your taxes to your wealthy neighbor so they can buy a luxury electric vehicle is offensive. I think sending $450,000 to those who've crossed our border illegally while we pay, the survivors of Gold Star families, of those we've lost in the military, far less than that. When you see tax increases on small businesses and paying people more to stay home to work, stay home then to reconnect to work, which, by the way, experts believe this will drive about 2 million more Americans out of the workforce at a time we desperately need them, on and on and on. It is an offensive bill. Oh, and I didn't mention, at the very end, they snuck in tax breaks for wealthy trial lawyers, for recording artists, for the media, to hire local reporters. It is, I think, one of the most offensive tax giveaways for special interests that Maria, than you and I have ever seen.
That is extraordinary. Congressman, let me bring in James Freeman here from the Wall Street Journal. Go ahead, James.
Oh, thanks, Maria. Congressman, you were talking about child care, and obviously the cost is going to be massive here. Nothing gets expensive the way it does once the government says it's going to make something affordable. We think of housing, education, healthcare, but I'm wondering also about the impact on education when you have a huge federal intervention in a market that is now basically small operators, people, churches often, community centers, people in their homes doing child care and pre-kindergarten, nursery school. What is the educational impact of now a huge federal role, government-approved pre-kindergarten? I know it's going to be expensive, but I'm worried about the educational impact as well.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. So I think you've got that concern in two important areas affecting our children. One, in the educational area, obviously with Washington-directed pre-K, they'll be calling the shots for local school districts. And as you know, much of our pre-K is also provided by faith-based organizations who often combine education and child care. Very important, especially for working families. And in this bill, they prohibit assistance for parents who get their child care at their local church or faith-based organizations. So again, a single mom trying to make ends meet will be driving miles out of their way to try to find government-approved child care or early education, while their local child care is down the street. It's really an attack on faith-based organizations and the parents who depend upon this.
Congressman, real quick before you go, what is the motivation here? I mean, how is it possible that they're still driving this forward in the face of inflation that is at 30-year high, a fundamental structural change that I think we're seeing in the jobs market? 4.4 million Americans have left the workforce. In the month of September, we learned that. Won't this plan push those two items even further? More people leaving the workforce, inflation continuing to skyrocket. What is the motivation that they're pushing this despite voters rejecting these policies so strongly, as we saw last week in Virginia and New Jersey?
Yeah, they are obsessed with this greatest expansion of the welfare state in our lifetimes, with the $500 billion of green welfare in this. It is driving them to be transformational, in their view, government control, cradle to grave. That's driving it. But now the results are in. We know this will drive inflation up higher. We know it'll drive people out of the workforce. And we aren't even talking about the crippling tax hikes, which really, in my view, are an economic surrender to China, Russia, Japan, and Europe. It will drive U.S. jobs overseas in a major way. I think will drive more investment in manufacturing overseas as well.
Unbelievable. And we're trying to be more independent. It does the opposite. Congressman, it's good to see you. Thanks very much. We will be watching the developments this morning. Congressman Kevin Brady.